What's up, guys? Today I'm about to head out to a different kind of gel ball event than usual at Battle for Waterloo. This is a workshop night. I just want to take a little bit of time to explain why we're doing that and what it is. So here in South Australia, to work on or repair or upgrade someone's gel blaster, you have to be a registered firearms dealer. There's currently no one registered as a firearms dealer who deals with gel blasters, although there is one guy, Doug, who owns Safari Zoomer Tactical, who's trying to get his dealer's license. He might actually be at this event tonight, and if he is, I'll have a chat with him there. There is one exception to the rule though. You're allowed to repair your own gel blasters if they're registered to you. So I had this idea and proposed it to Battle for Waterloo. Why don't we host a workshop night where there'll be a bunch of guys who know what they're doing, who used to be techs before the ban, and they can coach people through repairing or upgrading their own gel blasters. In addition to helping people repair and upgrade their own gel blasters, this will also be a bit of a casual event. You'll be able to come out to the field and just hang out and chat with people. There'll also be a sausage sizzle and some casual night games out on the field for those who want to join in. So now I'm going to head out to the Battle for Waterloo's workshop night. I'm going to bring the camera along and I'll show you how the event goes. Give me an extra 10, please. What's your name and what are you repairing today?
My name is Damien Tucker. I'm repairing an M4 Wells. Right now I'm having slight feeding issues, so I'm going to see what's going on with the old piston here.
So what do you reckon is causing the feeding issues?
Probably this has just come off and I need to replace that section.
Ah, yep.
But I'm also going to see if this bit's moving back and forth probably.
Yep.
If that's not moving back and forth probably, then that's the other issue probably.
That's a handy little screwdriver set you got there.
Yeah, it is.
I reckon I might have one very similar at home after you shared that.
Yeah.
What are you working on today?
A Watt Kublai, full metal 7-inch Omega.
An upgrade or a repair?
Bit of both. Installing a MOSFET and replacing the gears.
Cool. That's a toy.
Yes.
Alright, so I'm here with Doug, who's the owner of Safari Zoomer Tactical here in South Australia. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, you're the only gel ball store that's partially open still?
Yeah, at the moment in South Australia, I'm the only one is partially open, yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for the past 6 months, you've been trying to get a dealer's license so that you can sell actual gel blasters and carry out repairs. How is that process going?
Oh, actually, it's, once we got this new law coming, and then we wait for a month and start to apply the license, and then we lodge the form and take at least 3 months and got some reply. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time to wait.
Yeah.
So for the past 6 months, you've still been open though. Can you just tell us what you've been able to still sell? Because obviously you can't sell gel blasters. So
Yeah, so we can't sell gel blaster. We can't fix and repair customers one. So only we can sell is like a gel, some accessories like a mask.
I came in and bought a Titan battery off you the other week.
Some batteries, and some bit and pieces, something small things, and like a side or scoop, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the internal parts is, we're still not very sure what we can allow to sell.
Gearboxes and stuff like that, you're not sure if you're allowed?
Gearbox, I think it's definitely can't do it. The gearbox can't sell any gearbox. Yeah, internal parts.
Until you get the dealer's license.
Yes, until we get. Yeah.
Do you have any idea how much longer that'll take?
And just from the last time the inspection, the officer said, hopefully in about a month later.
A month.
A month later, yeah.
So in about a month's time, we may have a dealer that we can actually buy gel blasters from, buy gel blaster repair parts from, and also someone who's qualified to repair gel blasters. Because that's why we're here tonight. We're just trying to coach people in repairing their own blasters, because right now there is no one in the state who can repair a gel blaster legally. Thanks for having a chat with me.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, thank you.
So you've got 2 blasters there. What is the issue?
This one has got no response to the trigger, so I've got no idea what the trigger is. There's actually doesn't sound like there's a switch attached. And this one is another one in the higher thing that has got stripped of metal gear somewhere, so I have to try and pull that apart and see what the problem is to fix that.
Any improvement?
Nah, not yet.
So you extended them with solder.
Yep, try and extend them a little bit more so it touches the terminals on the mag.
So you got to add a bit more, do you? Or?
Nah, hoping the bending as well as what I've just put on it will do it. Nope. Go try another mag, make sure. Nothing.
Cleaning your rod.
Yeah, it's blunks.
So Doug, what kind of license do people need to work at your shop?
From one of the dealer, the wheel gun dealer told me, have to be got the A4 first, and then apply another A11 for the employer.
What's the A11?
A11 is a dealer's worker or dealer's employee. Yeah.
Okay.
So this one pretty much, I don't know how it happened, but the back of behind the trigger in here was not letting the trigger come back enough to activate the switch, and that was it. So I was just unable to get the switch to activate because the trigger was hitting the back of the gearbox.
Ready?
All right. It lives.
Finally. Put that fucker back together.
It's getting a bit dark, but we say, let there be light. How much of a benefit is it that you can actually shoot it here? Because before, you put it all back together,
Yeah, you can't do it until game day, and it's a bit.
and then you bring it on game day and it doesn't work, or
then
you're
it's
stuck
just-
until the next game day.
Yeah. Big inconvenience if you're a person who has only one gel blaster. That's the thing, I brought this to game day, tried it, and the little nib on the end of the nib on the end just decided to just gum up in the barrel, and I was like, oh, I can't use this, and this is the one I modified to be my best one out of the lot.
I heard that originally Doug was told he wouldn't be allowed to test blasters in his shop even once he gets a dealer's license, until he argued with him, how the heck am I meant to actually test the blaster works before people pay for the repair?
Yep, that's
And
that
finally they gave him the okay that he can actually test the blaster, fire actual gels in his shop once the dealer's license goes through.
That's ridiculous.
So it's all fixed.
Yeah, she's fine.
What kind of velocities?
Oh, I'm only around the 260 usually with this one. Yeah, 260.
I'm here now with Damien, who ran a company called D-Day Custom Gel Blasters before the ban came into place. Any plans to continue with that, or you can't now?
No, I can't now. I've invested way too much money, and since the ban came in, all the regulations as they call them, I call them a ban, came in, it's ruined me. You know, I couldn't sit there twiddling my thumbs hoping on a court case or being able to change politicians' minds and things like that. I had to make a decision for my family, and I had to sell up. You know, I can't have SAPOL banging on my door come the 7th of April.
And you originally opened your business based on something SAPOL said.
Yeah. 2 years ago, I was living in Cairns, Queensland, and I ran my own gel ball field and I sold gel blasters. I had a heart attack while I was living in Cairns. Ended up moving here to be closer to family. Seen, you know, the police idea on gel blasters and how they classed them as toys.
Well, yeah, they came out on the media and said,
Yep.
yeah, we're just going to consider these toys. That was the statement from SAPOL a year ago. And
Yep.
this guy here decided to open a business based on that, took money out of his super.
Yep. During COVID, because times were tough for everyone, I had to try and keep my business afloat. You know, I took out twice $10,000 out of my super each time, and I invested all that into my business. And yeah, within probably 2 months of my last investment, not even that, you know, I get 11 hours notice that I'm no longer allowed to run a business.
So as most of you probably heard just before when I interviewed Doug, there's only him as the only person I know who's going for a dealer's license in gel ball. Would you say that your story might be fairly similar to a lot of others who have shot
for sure. For sure. I'm not the only one that's lost out money on this. You know, the way I see it, the government owes us all thousands of dollars just on that one statement saying they were toys. Look how much of a growth the industry had after that comment. You know, there was over 120% growth increase within the gel blaster community based on that.
Well, we had heaps of stores open up and we had 80 people per day on multiple days attending field events, and it's just killed it overnight.
Yeah.
And these guys' livelihoods have been ruined based on something SAPOL said and then retracted a year later.
Yep.
Thanks for being on camera for me.
Cheers, mate.
That's pretty good. Gotta be happy with that.
I'm doing it.
So that's the other higher blaster you're working on.
Yeah, that's one that's a UMP. It's got all metal internals and it's
And
shredded
four of the screws heads are all stripped.
Yes. Four of the. Got one.
Torx bits. Best bits out. They grab a hold of Allen keys better. Like,
They have been put in way too tight.
done. You know what I actually did with my one? The screws out of the P90 gearbox, P90 shell I put into these. They're a stronger thread and they're a bigger hex head.
Now that you can actually get into it, what was actually wrong with that one again?
Stripped gears. Stripped
Stripped everything. Stripped screws.
Screws. Well, the only reason why they're stripped is because they've been seized. I don't think this has been taken apart in a long time. There, and it also did just damage this gear here enough, just to the point where you can't really use that gear again. So both of those have just been scrapped because it's just rounded out right there.
And we've got replacement gears for them there.
Yeah, we got plenty of them. Well, brand new set we're just throwing out. They're pretty cheap, so it's just got nylon. So just replace that and be good to go.
So that's the stock Gen 8 that's just had an O-ring upgraded.
Just a green O-ring, and it's just got the O-rings of the nozzle, and it holds a perfect seal. Even with the nozzle forward, it pretty much is nearly perfect. 220 to 250.
So what ended up being wrong with it?
It was just the between the bevel and the spur gear had stripped out. So just a simple 2 gears.
And then you went and tried testing it just before, and you had a dodgy mag, so you thought something else.
I thought I did the mag terminals back to front, but I didn't. It was just a bad mag, so the bad mag now has to be fixed as well. So it's all good now. Another rental.
So what was the go with that one?
So this one here, it was a relatively new rental. What had happened is, I'm not sure how it happened, but the trigger couldn't actually put enough pressure on the switch to activate it. So all I did was take off a small amount of material from the back of the gearbox where the trigger normally goes, and that's let the trigger move more, and now the trigger works. So if that was all it was just a simple thing. I've pulled it apart. It's quite dry and dirty inside, so I cleaned it all out and re-greased everything, and we'll give it a chrono now.
About 220 to 230.
Yeah, very consistent for a rental.
This one a bit lower.
No, yeah, pull the gear out.
Is it pop?
Yep, it's popped.
Top.
Sorry, man.
No, that's okay.
Is it under it?
Yeah, oh, it's gone.
It's gone.
He's
This one, this center cache, this one's supposed to be more higher.
Yeah, it's dropped down.
It dropped down.
And then he's
And eat it.
eating it.
The big scratch in here.
Yeah, that explains that scratch.
So this one's supposed to be more up high.
Okay.
And will catch properly.
So the latest revelation is that this was a fake SHS gear in the first place. But we have found a cast gear which we can replace it with.
Okay, so this is the fake SHS that had the obvious pickup problem there, which has been ripped off. And you can see by just simply the markings how this one here is, they just look different. This is a genuine SHS and this is a non-genuine SHS. And flip it over. Now, unfortunately mine, I've actually lost the screws. That's why I'm not using it, but there's not really much difference on the back. However, the pickup tooth, you can see on this one here, is just a little bit lower, and it's not able to pull the tappet plate back. It's simply skimming past the tappet plate, whereas this one would pick it up, and you can tell by the very blatant damage. Mine is completely flush, whereas that one was sticking out too far and has been completely sheared off by the spur gear. So, and that's what's caused this problem this gear to no longer be usable.
So just before over here, we had some sparks flying. What did that end up being?
The little terminal joint was touching the metal gearbox. I'm not being essential here, but you just dropped the screw.
Yeah.
Do you reckon it survived though?
Best way to do it.
Hopefully it has.
This one won't be able to be repaired today.
No.
Because that has sheared off.
Yeah.
And needs replacing, which we don't have one here.
Yeah. So in other words, it's going to be on the in progress but never know when to be fixed pile.
Alright, so it's getting a bit late now. I'm probably going to head off and leave these guys to it. I hope you enjoyed this footage of our first workshop night. I probably won't film the future ones, just wanted to give you guys an idea of what this is all about with this first video. I think the first workshop night went alright. There were plenty of blasters that got repaired successfully. I hope this has explained why we need the workshop nights here in SA, and I hope you've enjoyed watching. That's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.